Hello YouTube, I'm Chris from CodeReviewVideos.com. Before watching this video, I'd like to let you know that I have over 500 similar videos available on my site, CodeReviewVideos.com. If you love Symfony, then you'll feel right at home here. I'll show you how to build both websites and JSON APIs, and then we're going to talk to those JSON APIs using React and Redux. There's courses on Docker and Ansible, as well as loads on deployment and test-driven development and behavior-driven development. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and as ever, thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Chris from CodeReviewVideos.com, and in this video, we're continuing our migration up to Symfony Flex. So I've now gone ahead and opened up our GitHub Flex project inside PHP Storm. It just becomes easier at this point to do that. One thing to note is previously I was in the /temp directory and I've had to move it into my user area under the temp directory as PHP Storm just wouldn't open it. It's not a problem on Linux, but on a Mac, it didn't seem to like that concept. So anyway, back to the official guidance. So we're on step 6, which says move the original source code from source at bundle to source and update the namespace, which it should do automatically. It likes to think for us. So we've got our source directory, we've got at bundle, and what we want is everything under controller and services. I'm going to start inside the controller directory. Just take a copy of both of them and paste them in to the controller directory here. Doesn't seem to work for me if I try and copy multiple directories at once. Not really sure what we were doing with the another controller. But anyway, what we do need to do is knock off anything that says app bundle and change it just to be app. Likewise, it's going to ask for this service. We've not copied the service directory over yet. I'm going to take a copy of that now. Hopefully this will work. Just take a full copy of that directory. Under source, just paste that in. Like I say, it doesn't seem to work for me if I do multiple directories. Now, I'm not going to go through and do each one by hand. Instead, just do a search for app bundle, and we want to do a find and replace. Against replace all, yes. And we should be good. If we look inside our GitHub controller, it should now have figured that out for us. Now, it's a really important thing to do, and it's fairly easy to forget about, but if we jump back into our services YAML, we do also need to update these 2 entries also. And that should be all our code changes copied over. So now we've got to move the original templates from app resources views to /templates. Well, templates doesn't exist as a concept. So let's first start by creating a new directory that we're going to call templates, making sure to make a directory and not a file. So we've got our templates directory, and then under resources views, we'll try and take a copy of all the folders. I'm not too sure if this will work. It's looking a bit better than it did before. Anyway, our templates are over. We're still going to have some issues around templating, just as a quick heads up. But for the moment, I'm just going to move on, and it says make any other changes needed by your application. For example, if you've made any changes in app_dev or whatever, then move them across. We don't, so we don't need to worry about that. So we should, in theory, have completed the migration process. Now, what I would advise you do at this point, so making sure to actually be in the right directory would be a start. And then I'm going to do a PHP bin console cache clear. So we've got an issue there. Another controller. It's probably just that I've not updated the namespace. Let's get rid of that one. Try again. Well, it still doesn't like that. See if we've got any use statements or anything. It's really quite odd. Let's just try a composer update at this point. Ha, easily done. I'm editing the wrong project. That's why that's not working. So under another controller, that took me so long to figure out. 2 almost identical looking projects open. Yeah, that'll confuse you. Anyway, let's try that again. Okay, phew. So in theory, if we do a PHP bin console server start, we should now be able to browse our website, you would think. I'm not just going to click that because it's probably going to take me off somewhere crazy. Give this a refresh and oh no. Well, app dev, yep, fair enough. Okay, so things looking all right, I suppose. But strangely, our default route should actually show something, but it's not doing. So this is really weird, and this confused the heck out of me the first time. But if we do a PHP bin console debug router, you can see we actually have no routes. And this is where things just sort of get both bizarre and also really confusing. So Symfony 4 comes with a really stripped down mentality. Pretty much nothing is included. Whereas Symfony 3 and Symfony 2 came with sort of the whole bells and whistles. Now there are advantages either way, and I'm not going to dive too deeply into either of them. You're saving a bunch of bundle usage that you may not need, but you're also losing that usability experience for the beginner. Anyway, what we need is to tell Symfony how to load our routing, and we're using annotation routing, so I'm just going to do a composer require against annotations. And whilst that's doing that, just to quickly point out, so again, this is the wrong project, but we do actually have our annotation routing defined, but unless we tell Symfony 4 about it, then it's not going to know how to use it. So let's check our routing now. We didn't need to do anything as such. That's the joy really of Symfony Flex. It does a lot of it for you. It's just like nothing comes out of the box. So that can be quite unusual and unintuitive in my experience to begin with. Anyway, once we've got our routes up, if we do a refresh now, what do we see? Well, this time we're saying, well, we tried to use the render method and we're expecting Twig to be available. Well, just like the annotations weren't available, by default, Twig isn't available. So let's go back to our command line and let's do a composer require against Symfony Twig bundle. Now, just as a quick heads up, whilst that's doing that, if you go to symfony.sh, this contains all the recipes and all you need to do is type in what you're after and it'll take you through to what you basically need to install. Again, the installation process is really quite straightforward. You know, a composer require and we're pretty much set up. It's just knowing about that that's the tricky part that I can see a lot of people potentially getting stuck on. So anyway, we're going to give that a refresh, and now again, we're hitting on something else that we don't have, which is to do with assets. And you can see from our base HTML twig, we were using this asset function. And again, we need to go back to our command line, and I'm just going to up arrow there and bring this back and install the asset as well. So that's fine. And now let's try our web page again. So we kind of glossed over the earlier template changes, and I kind of did that deliberately because I wanted to hit on a few of these issues. Now though, we do actually have to fix them. So you can see it's actually pointing us to templates GitHut index. So under templates GitHut index, what we need to do is change the way that these are referenced. I think that should actually be GitHut controller also. Is no longer under app bundle, it's under app and then controller, GitHut controller profile action. And likewise, we need to do the same here. We're no longer under bundle, under app controller, GitHut controller, repos action. Okay, did we get any further? Yep, but I know what I've done. I need to make sure that we're using this scope resolution operator, I think that is. Sure, I once got asked that in an interview. How crazy. What are these two dots? I don't know. Two dots that no one has ever asked me about before in my entire life, that have never come up in the real world ever, but whatever. So okay, unable to find template GitHut repo HTML twig. At least it's telling us where that is in GitHut repos HTML twig line 17. GitHut repos line 17. Okay, fair enough. And again, we need the new syntax, so just get rid of that. Put that in there. Do we get any further? Yes, kind of. The CSS looks broken. We can probably validate that by doing a quick look in our developer tools under the network tab. Where are you? Network tab. Go away, whatever this is. Let's give that a refresh. Be nice if we could actually see the output. Make sure that we're looking at everything. Okay, so my style CSS is not found. It's looking under CSS my style, and the reason for this is that we didn't copy that across. So we had under our web directory CSS directory, so let's just copy that out and pop this. It doesn't go in the web directory anymore, it goes under public. Let's paste that in. Okay, that looks good. Where's our web page? Let's give it a refresh. That's looking better. So that's it. That's basically our migration done. There is one other thing that I would do, and that's because we now have this in a separate directory. We would need to merge this over the top of our existing code. How you go about doing that is entirely up to you. What I'm going to do is just go in here, and we're on our flex branch. So I'll do an LSLA. Got all our stuff in here at the moment. I'm going to do an RM RF against the whole lot. Yes, I do. I know it's madness, but that's what I want to do. LSLA, and the only things that are left is the Git directory itself, which holds our entire Git repository, the Git ignore, which is a hidden file, and the idea folder, which is our PHP Storm stuff. And that's pretty much what we want. I'm just going to close all of this down if I can. In fact, it would definitely make more sense to do this from the command line. So what I'm going to do, copy -R for recursive. This should pick up any hidden files and folders, but may not. And then we're going to be in our home directory, in the temp directory, and we've got this git hut flex directory. And we'll just copy that to here. Try doing an LSLA. Looks good. There's a couple of files that we've not brought over. Might as well just swap tabs there to show this because it's easier. If we do LSLA, you can see that we've got some additionals here. The web server PID, of course, we're not interested in. We should actually stop that. So we'll do a server stop. And that should have disappeared. But we are interested in the env and the env.dist. Now we could just copy those two files. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So I'll do, bring that back up and just do .env. And we'll just pop that in here as the .env file. And we'll do the same for env.dist. Okay, git status. We can see tons of change. I'm going to commit the whole lot. I'm not going to spend time working through what's changed because pretty much everything's changed. I was going to say all migrated to Flex. What's it missing? Git add everything. Yes, yes. And there we go.